Happy Sunday. Everything went great as far as rest last night. Got enough sleep. Didn't wake up lighter today, but hey, that's just the way it works. Every day you're not gonna cut weight. I had a big meal midday yesterday, and the food has to cycle through your body, even if it is healthy content. Gonna ride today. Hopefully I still feel good enough to do legs tomorrow. I need to start riding more because I'm doing that instead of walking for my exercise. So I need to be riding at least, I'd say, 3 times per week minimum. So we'll see how it works out. I mean, it has been affecting my recovery, but it's fun, and it's something that you can really only consistently do up here during the months where it's nice out. So I like to take advantage of the opportunity as many times as I can. So if that means that I have to sacrifice some weight training, then I'll just sacrifice those gains, because I made a lot of gains as far as I'm concerned, musculature wise, over the winter period, because I was basically bulking. So and as an endomorph, you don't really have that much difficulty putting on strength and size. It's not very hard. I mean, you have to work consistently, but it's not the same as the venture that an ectomorph or a mesomorph would have. It's just not the same. It's easy to pack on muscle if you use progressive overload effectively, and you're micro loading, and you're doing your workouts 3 to 4 days per week consistently, and those lifts are going up, then yeah, you should be really nice by the midpoint of your of maybe a 6 month run. By the time you hit the midpoint, you probably an endomorph, eating it at maintenance or a little above in a surplus. I'd say it'd be pretty easy to put on 10 pounds of muscle in that period of time. Obviously a lot of it's going to be fat too, but you'll put on strength too, and I've seen that with many endomorphs. You got to work though. You can't sit around and make those kind of gains. So what I was researching was that I want to talk about quickly today was I was researching a lot of information and just reading over and over these articles that were talking a lot about basal metabolic rate. And I'm not going to tell you the whole story because I'm not the scientist. I'm not even trying to be, but basically it's the temperature and the amount of calories that your body is burning after 12 hours of fasting. So basically, just like, body cleared out, walking around, or even just hanging out. And I've talked about this before, but I think that this information, you gotta go crazy about it, because it's very important. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. It's very important that you figure out what the calories that you burn when you're not exercising, when you're just sedentary, sitting around or laying around all day. You got to find out what that is, because ultimately it would be wise for all of us to eat at that rate. If you're trying to cut fat, eat at that amount of calories per day, every day. A little bit of a deficit, maybe just no more than 10 to 20% of a deficit. 20% rather aggressive, but if you eat at that rate right there, even if you're exercising, you're going to continue to burn fat. Now remember, I'm talking about burning fat. I'm not talking about staying heavy. This is endomorph cutting, endomorph losing weight. If you want to talk about sustaining that, that's something that you have to learn. Sustainability is something that a program is not going to be able to teach you. That program ain't gonna last forever. Sooner or later, there's gonna be some problems. You know, sooner or later, you know, and you're gonna have to find where you want to be. Maybe you want to be 4% or 5% right now. It's unhealthy, but that's what you want. That's your goal. So you get there, and then maybe you figure out, oh, I don't really want to be here because I'm unhealthy. My sex drive is affected. You know, it's not sustainable for me. Maybe I want to be 10% all the time. Well, you're gonna have to figure out what it takes for your body to maintain 10%, and that's a learning curve, you know, time, you know, I mean, just all kinds of work and all kinds of effort and trial and error and spinning your wheels. It's a lot. So find out about basal metabolic rate. Your basal metabolic rate is very key. It's very key to the entire journey, and it is what will act as the, you know, the equilibrium of your journey. You know, if you have those calories acutely, like you understand, like, you know, because everyone can guess, you know, you can get online and you can take all these calculators and all this other stuff. That ain't gonna tell you that, you know, it takes, like, you know, one thing that I can think of, you know, it takes like sacrificing those 10 days or whatever. I would say more like 21 days. You know, I'd say 21 days where you need to track your calories, you know, 100% track your calories, track everything you do, like how much activity you're doing. I mean, the best thing the best thing to do would probably be to sit around, actually. The more I think about it, sit around for 21 days, you know, don't do much exercise, just kind of like hang out and figure out how you need to eat to do nothing and cut fat. I mean, you know, yeah, you're gonna give up some gains and everything like that, but you're gonna learn your body. It's gonna do so much for you in the future, because you are gonna know in your mind, like, man, I can eat this meal plan and do nothing today and still, you know, be burning fat. That's priceless. And so many people don't sacrifice, you know, because they want to train, everything like that. Well, if that training isn't getting you, if you're spinning your wheels and the train's not getting you in the direction that you want to go, and you're still spinning your wheels and months are going by and you're gaining weight or you're not losing weight, then you need to do something to refresh the situation, to move you in a direction where you actually have control of the situation. And that going after that understanding of your basal metabolic rate is going to help you hugely. Because, man, like I said, the calories, I mean, I've lived this. I'm passionate about this stuff. Having that understanding of those calories and just having those meal plans and everything, you know, like right there in front of you where you could say, yes, okay, boom. I mean, that does so much of the work as far as like the confidence that it brews inside of you of what you're doing, you know, knowing that those foods, you know, you may be hungry, but you know, like, man, if I can just, like, you know, wait it out, you know, and just eat this stuff, you know, just like sit there and, you know, drink water or something, I don't know, you know, and just eat that stuff, you know, that you're moving in that direction. And, you know, I'm sure anyone that has cut will tell you that it starts with that. So especially if you want something that's going to be sustainable long term, it starts with that. You have to have that kind of data. You have to know your body in that sense. If you don't, then, you know, I've done this before. I've lost tons of weight and put it right back on because what I was doing was not sustainable. Did it work? Yes. Did it get me to my goal? Yes. Was it awesome? Yes. Did I feel great? Yes. But was it sustainable? It was not sustainable. So read up on the basal metabolic rate as much as you can. You can start with Wikipedia or whatever. That'll get you going, and then you can find some other, you know, Google, whatever. You know, there's plenty of articles out there by you know, people that know what they're talking about. They're going to explain it, and there's plenty of articles out there in like bodybuilding and all this other stuff where trainers talk about it in application to, you know, caloric intake. So happy Sunday.